Yeah. Hello!
Welcome back to Watch List, our weekly podcast where we talk about film and TV. My name is Jake.
My name is Al.
And today we'll be talking about Evil Bread.
Oh, like a naughty gazpacho. No, that's a soup.
Damn.
Ciabatta.
Ciabatta.
Oh, ciabatta you. Because it's an Evil Bread.
We're talking about Evil Dead, of course. The first
not interested.
two. It's just the first two.
I haven't seen the third one.
Yeah.
I have seen a reboot one though.
Rice.
Evil bread and rice.
Evil bread and evil
the
bread
naughty
rice.
carbs.
Evil dies tonight. Evil bread and rice. Order!
Evil bread and Halloween crossover. Wait, Evil Dead Halloween crossover in a bakery. Evil bread and evil rise tonight. Like 11 bread.
But there was going to be a Jason. No, not Jason.
Jason
Oh yeah, it
Derulo.
was Jason, Freddy, and Ash. There was going to be a.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, he was supposed to be in Freddy versus Jason, right? Yeah.
Three-way.
And I only know that because my friend Byron is always going on about it. Because he loves the crossover films and
Freddy vs. Jason is quite fun, but we're not here to talk. We're here to talk about Evil Dead. So we're both fans, I guess. I've been a massive fan for a while, and recently I sat you down. I said, "Look, you need to get cultured. You need to learn."
I was like, "Oh, so it's books, is it, or sort of folk music? Like, where are we?" And he went, "Film."
Evil Dead 1 and 2, directed by and written by Mr. Sam Raimi. Evil Dead 1 was 1982, I want to say.
Sam Raimi, is that Spider-Man? What do you know about horror?
No, it's Peter Parker.
Oh.
But yes, he did do Spider-Man. And Oz the Great and the Powerful.
Wow.
Not just those. I just thought I'd throw that one out there because it's such a weird niche one.
That's his biggest filmography hits.
Send Help.
Yeah, why, what's up?
Doctor Strange.
Send Help was good. Doctor Strange 2.
In the Mouth of Madness. It's the...
What was it called? In the multiverse of kind of a bit mental, but not really.
He did Drag Me to Hell.
Haven't seen it.
And
I did like Send Help though. That was a lot of fun.
I think obviously Spider-Man. I don't know. He did films.
Wow.
So yes, Evil Dead 1 and 2. Evil Dead 1 1982, I believe. I could definitely be wrong on that. Do you want
I think it's 81. I think I saw it was 81.
And then the second one is a few years later. But the first one was made on like a tiny budget, basically not a student film exactly, but it was just after.
It was like a post-grad film, right? Yeah, they had just graduated and then they
just used
had
all
a
the
lot
shit
of fun.
they could. From their school, whatever, found a cabin in the woods and filmed in that. And then the second one, they had a lot more money because Evil Dead 1 was a hit, so they decided they couldn't get the rights to the first one to show footage from the first one in the second one, so they had
which is insane. It's their film.
It's mad. So they had to reshoot. They basically redid the first one, a sort of shorthand version of it,
15 minutes,
and then it kicked straight into 2. And so I love them. But what did you think? Let's start with Evil Dead 1 first.
Yeah,
as you do.
Let's.
This one's, I guess, more serious, like grounded more. Like it kind of, it's not leaning into the comedy.
No.
But
I think they understood after making it. They understood what they had made.
Yeah.
And because you sometimes you don't know what you've got in your hands until it's done.
Until you see it and you see reactions as well.
And you see reactions, you're like, oh, okay, so, there is humour to be sort of amped up. In my notes here, obviously it's...
Your notes?
Not as many as I had for the other one that we did, but felt very much... what you think of when people talk about classic horror, i.e., like you said, it's a bunch of mates making sort of a cheapish horror film with the amenities they have.
It was hell for them. I mean, the behind the scenes of them making that, it was just, it was, you know, they were sleeping in the cabin. You know, they had to protect it from people that would just, you know, they said there was a guy one night, there was a guy with a shotgun just wandering about. And they had to like take turns of going on watch. And Sam Raimi said he fell asleep in a graveyard, which is just the best, like that best anecdote ever. And yeah, the actors by all, like, you see the behind the scenes and they all say like, oh, you know, it was good. You can tell that they fucking hated it. Like, they really did hate it. It was a horrible experience for them. You know, even like contact lenses that were just hard plastic that just, you know, ruin their eyes. Obviously the blood, the sort of just condition of the cabin, you know, any sort of prosthetics and things. It was just hell. But it was, you know, mates making films, and it was a crew of like 10 or whatever. It was, you know, something to aspire to, just minus all the pain and agony. Or maybe do that.
Maybe.
Top tip.
Art is pain.
Art is pain.
No, I'm going to have to skip through my limited notes because most of them are what you've just said.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You can say them again and we can just pretend that you've said it.
The location, I think, is beautifully used. They use what they had. You know, they used his car. They used this cabin that I assume they found or had some access to.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they probably got. I would hope that they got the rights to it.
I doubt it. The behind the scenes I've seen of these films, they don't give a shit. They're like, there is a cabin here. We're using it because nobody else is using it.
Some guy, like, in like years to come, he's like, that was my cabin. I'm going to sue.
And yeah, they really sort of hone in on atmosphere, which really ramps up that edge that they've got on that film, and that's why I think it's a classic. That's what stands out for me is the use of that one location and the sort of surrounding.
All the fog and
the lighting and
shafts of light.
Yeah, and the for me the best bit is the cellar from the hatch down, chain down thing, and then all underneath. I think that is my favourite part of the whole setup of the first one. I think the cabin comes into play a bit more. I mean, it's used in the first one a lot. Don't get me wrong, but I think I appreciate the actual top of the cabin in the sequel. But I think maybe that's because it was a set piece in the second one.
It's more of a character, isn't it? In the second one? Whereas here, it's just.
Well, it's just the location. It's just but again, the atmosphere is great and it's built up. The cast, as you say, were put through the ringer, and that just seems to be down to the lack of sort of health and safety and the lack of care for that at the time. You couldn't do that nowadays.
No.
But again, it seems to be forgiven in the behind the scenes and things because they're like, but we achieved what we achieved. Like, the ends justify the means in retrospect to even the actors who were put through it. They were like, yeah, we went through hell, we hated it at the time, but look at what we've made. We're happy about it, you know. We wouldn't do it again, don't get me wrong, but we got what we got from it. One of my favourite performances was the first girl to be turned. Again, she's the one like screaming through the hatch as it's getting like bolted down and stuff, and she comes back and she tries to do the sort of normal voice and lure them in, and then comes out sort of like going crazy. But I think my favourite look is when she sat there before they put her down under into the cellar, and she's got like the smeared kind of like over the top, very look like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre makeup on top of the mask.
Like clown makeup.
Yeah. And I liked that because it's like doll makeup, but it's it's a reality horror at that point. Before she turns into a monster, before she's a zombie, blah blah blah. It's that kind of unnerving. It's so close to real that it could just like you know, you could walk out in the middle of the night and see somebody like that. It's sort of like one of the scariest things for me as a kid was a sequence in Home Alone 2. And this is straying off a little bit, but it's
both
kind
have traumatic moments from Home Alone 2, but they're both different.
They're both very different, because the one that you find traumatic, I find hilarious, and I would love to do in a film at some point. And it's the. Are you okay with me talking about this?
Yeah, no,
I don't want to.
That's fine. Yeah, no, I'll just have to take my tablets and just suck it up, really.
Yeah, suck up the tablets. I guess.
Like a Hoover.
Yeah. What was it? Oh, yeah, so it's the...
electrocution.
Electrocution turns into a skeleton bit.
You know, they say behind the sofa, that was my... I
Was it really?
I would literally run and hide behind the sofa. Like, I physically would do that.
See, the phrase hiding behind the sofa always, like...
Confused you, because you didn't have a sofa.
Well, no, we had a sofa, but they
It
were...
was against the wall.
They were always against the wall. So whenever, like, my mum would be, like...
Drag it out.
Talking about Doctor Who when she was younger, she didn't really watch it, but, like... Other people did. She went, oh yeah, it was terrifying, and you'd hide behind the sofa, and I'd be like, bar sofa's up against the wall.
That's why she's done it.
A sofa in a house that they only moved into when I was born, but I didn't have the imagination to go, oh, maybe in a different house.
They didn't put their sofas against the walls.
Put the sofas against the walls.
I think they've started to do that just to stop her from running behind me when Coronation Street comes on.
No, Ken, no. Is that Coronation Street? Did I reference it?
Yeah,
right?
Ken Barlow.
Hell yeah. Whoop whoop. I haven't watched that crap since I left home.
Damn.
Well, no, I probably
trauma there.
sought the odd episode of when I've gone back home, but I wouldn't seek it out myself.
So what was your scary bit?
My scary bit is when he, near the end, where he jumps into a... No, he's walking along the streets, and every, like, adult that looks down at him have, like, grimy, horrible faces. They're just real people, but they're like leering and
Like Cardiff on a night out.
yeah. It's like getting the train back from Cardiff on a Saturday night. So and then he gets in the taxi, and even the driver turns around and he's got like a grim, like gargoyle, but again very real face. And it's that kind of reality thing that like really like shakes me up, because I'm like, that is a real thing. I could, like you said, I could walk out into Cardiff and that be what I'm presented with.
Is that when she sat cross-legged in the doorway? Is that the part you're on about? And then she just, because the noise of it, like, they are really annoying, and I think on purpose, but they are like so like grating on the ears, like they're the way the demons like talk and they sing and they scream, and he just like slaps the shit out of her, and she's still laughing, and it's such an annoying laugh. You want to like reach out and just tell her to shut the fuck up, which I think is great, because it sounds, again, you know about
but yeah, laughs are unnerving to me as well, because it's like, why are you laughing? Like, you've got the upper hand because you find this all funny. I'm terrified, but you're finding it funny, which makes me even more unnerved.
What do you think about the obviously, so Evil Dead was banned, and it was thrown into a video nasty when it reached the UK, right. And weirdly the success in the UK, which was only a few years after Evil Dead 1 came out, was because it was banned, and because it became this, you know, this sort of sought out, you know, almost black market, you know, like under the counter sort of thing, and obviously one of the big scenes was the tree scene. Do you not know about that beforehand? No,
I didn't know about it beforehand.
Yeah,
the tree scenes it's quite difficult to watch, actually. It's
obviously it comes back as well in the second one.
But is that the stop motion in the second one, or is that a separate part?
That's separate, but there is a similar part, and they do it in the second one. But it's a bit more sort of zany. I don't say
it's zany, a bit more palatable.
But like she gets dragged along, like it's like, oh She gets dragged along through the fucking trees, and with this
Yeah.
one, she kind of just trips and falls over, and then that's
And then
it happens.
Happens. So yeah, I don't want to go into what happens, but
Leave it there.
it's it's pretty grim.
She
And
wasn't
again, I think it's
Tidwell.
huh? What'd you say?
Nothing.
Do it again.
She wasn't Tree Tidwell.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something about bark being worse than the bite.
That's good. Yeah, I'm gonna write that down in my log book.
Oh.
Would, and that'd be good. Right, let's just carry on.
Yeah, we could.
What do you think of in the first one of?
Well, I was going to say that
sorry.
again. It's sort of. I think you and I have very different approaches when it comes to what we find effective in horror. In that you like a lot of blood and a lot of like.
What do you mean by effective?
Gore.
Because
Well-
I don't find blood scary.
Okay. Oh, okay. Then maybe we are closer on the same page. But like I said, with the reality of her there, the reality of the horror of the act with the tree scene is what affects me when I'm watching
Okay,
it.
I sort of see I kind of become impressed by the practicality of it over
Well, the practicality,
what's
yeah.
actually happening.
I thought it was, yeah.
That kind of overrides me, and I go,
Okay.
you know,
What-
and it's so out there, which I love.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, I think the.
That's where we're probably different.
Yeah,
is
I think
like to push
the
things.
harrowing nature of it was, and the performance that she gave in that scene made it feel so real that yeah, it is a tree doing this, and it's a bit silly if you step back.
Yeah,
But if you're in it and you're watching it and you're sort of empathizing with her and her sort of struggle there, then you could sort of imagine it not being a tree. If you're just
Right.
watching her reaction and the way that she's dealing with it,
Yeah.
you can kind of block out the fact that it is a tree, and just focus on the pain there and how it's actually affecting her as a person. I think again the horror of when she goes back into the cabin and she's trying to explain it and they just sort of go, you're crazy, like
crazy, yeah.
sort of like again I think it's far more I think it explores that in a far deeper way than people give it credit for, really, because again you've got the horrific nature of it and then you've got people sort of just going, you're mad, and not believing her, and I think that's worse. And yeah, I think it's a lot deeper than
yeah. There could be some underlying things
Yeah.
going on there.
which I
It's-
think
and
is interesting.
Yeah, I think particularly obviously as we saw in the 70s and the 80s, the kind of horror leaning more and more towards exploitation, and you gotta sometimes you it depends on what you're going for, but in my opinion anyway, like what are you trying to do? Are you trying to shock? Are you trying to titillate? Are you trying to exploit? What are you doing? I think Evil Dead walks a nice sort of line, you can call it nice, in terms of it's palatable enough, but it is also disturbing, but it's not to the point of it, pure horrific.
It's not shock value for the
it's just-
sake of it, no.
which is, and that goes throughout the whole film as well. Like even the later practical effects, like now then they don't hold up as well. Like the sort of melting stop motion in number one anyway, with the sort of the fake, because the film has been so, it's trying to be so realistic in a way.
Yeah.
The tone, it's a bit skewy because you then see this like gunk and porridge and stuff. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
What do you think of Bruce Campbell in this? Because obviously he evolved quite a lot.
Yes, he's very sort of different in the second one. Because he's very sort of run of the mill jock in the first one, which is fine, but I wasn't rooting for him as much in the first one as I was in the second one.
Yeah, I think that's a fair sort of assessment.
He
Yeah.
he takes the bull by the horns in the second one, and he's very active in his approach, whereas the first one is just, I'm here with my friends, I'm having a nice time.
And obviously the pace is more traditional in the first one in terms of you have about 40 minutes of setup roughly, like 40 minutes of setup. They're driving there, they get there, it's a bit creepy, and then you've got you start to hear the woods or whatever, and Sheila or whatever her bloody name is, she runs out, and then it goes from there really. But yeah, I still, because I always thought, until I watched them again with you, I always thought that Evil Dead 2 was, I mean, I still sort of do, but I thought it was so superior to 1. But on reflection, I do really love 1. I mean, when I first watched it, I felt it was a bit, something felt a bit off about it. I think maybe it was the tone and that it didn't feel like it aged as well to me. But rewatching it, I'm like, no, this is like a focused, concentrated blaster. I mean, watching it back then must have been rather terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
Because it does put its foot down towards the end, and, like I said, it just becomes this intense experience of sound and visuals, and you got Sam Raimi with his camera and things and the lighting, and you start to see the early style that he became so known for. So, with that said, Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, it puts its foot down a lot quicker, but that's only because the first film is condensed into like the first 10 minutes.
Yep.
Which is interesting because, like you said, the pacing is more traditional in the first one, and yet they somehow get that hour and a half and do it in 10 minutes. They stripped back the cast a lot.
Just him and her. Him and her.
Oh yeah, of course it is. Yeah. Which is a thing that I didn't like. I liked the group of them because it felt very much like if you wanted to pitch it as a just friends, like American high schoolers or whatever, going to a cabin in the woods for the weekend, that I feel like makes a lot more sort of sense in the zeitgeist than this couple going up to a cabin that was owned, again, it was owned by somebody that they didn't know or something, because it's owned by the professor, and his daughter comes along, and that's how you get the group again in the second one. So they're a lot more thrown together because it's the scientist's daughter and her partner or colleague or whatever, and then the hillbilly couple.
That's right. Yeah.
Which the drama is they all sort of clash, I guess, especially with him because they're like, wait, who the fuck is this guy and what's he doing here? And
because it starts like, it immediately starts from like after you've seen Evil Dead, the sort of reimagining of Evil Dead 1 in the first 10 minutes, it then goes straight into Evil Dead 2, in which he's possessed. Like straight away. Like he gets flung about, he lands in a puddle, and then he wakes up and he's possessed. You're like, oh, didn't expect that. And then the whole film is kind of him battling, already being possessed, and then you've got, I guess the setup is the setting up of the daughter and the these supporting characters, but it's so quick. It's like they're in a plane, it's her dad, they're there. And then like you said, they lock Ash, which I think a great moment is they're like, we'll put him in the basement, and all the audience is going, no, not the basement, we've seen the basement, don't put him in the basement. And it just goes from there then for like 70 minutes. It's just foot on the gas.
The second one's blood through the walls, right?
Because that was the set. Because they built the set so they could pump blood through the walls. So again, I feel like they go hell for leather very quickly, and it doesn't stop. Like you got stop motion, with his girlfriend dancing in the woods. And sort of the moonlight. You got stop motion. You've got puppetry. You've got a hell of a monstrous prosthetic, demonite thing.
The big fat thing as well,
which we saw the behind the scenes for with Ted Raimi and
the really. This is brother, right, in the suit. Yeah,
and he was like, my younger brother will do it.
Yeah,
he's fine.
It feels very much like the way that you approach films when you're like, he'll do it, and then I'm like, yeah. Well, not just film, like that play as well that we did. You were just like, you'll do it, right? And I don't really have a choice.
Yeah,
I'm just like, yeah,
like acting.
you like acting. I don't. I just do it because.
But it was
It's fucking
a
one-
slightly
yeah.
bigger crew on this one. They had like a proper team of
Oh, they had like.
special effects people.
Yeah, and that was a lot of fun to see the behind the scenes of, because again, it was very much like.
It's like a boys'
In
holiday.
the best way, it was a boys' club.
Yeah.
That it was just a bunch of guys just being like, "We're gonna make this thing, and we're gonna play around with it," and
They lived in the same house.
yeah,
They said it was a very weird, backwater town in America. Lived, really hot, but they lived in this little house and they got to go and make shit and make.
Well, yeah, it's that sort of idea of, oh, what are you working on today? Oh, I'm doing this, like, moving arm thing.
Yeah.
And once you've cracked it and you've made it, and then he just shows it off to all the others, and they're like, oh, that's fucking sick. Oh, let's quickly do a little film of that thing.
Yeah.
Just to, again, it's not for the film itself, but it's just to show off the thing that you've made. And I think that's really nice that they had that kind of like team building kind of thing.
Because that wouldn't happen nowadays.
No, not really.
I mean, obviously, if you're in independent film, maybe.
Yeah. But like in a studio, you get paid to make the thing. You make the thing, and then you ship it off to the set, and it's done with. Whereas you get a sense of these guys. They made all their things. They showed them off to each other. They shipped them over, and you can imagine them all stood behind the camera as their effects are being used. Just going, oh, that's fucking sick.
Well, there was one part in it where he said one of the first things he did was the hand, Ash's severed hand, and he said he was really worried about it, but he watched it and it was really, because there is a lot of things. There's
that kitchen sequence is really fun. With the hand.
That's when it like goes into full slapstick comedy, and I think that's why in this one Ash and Bruce Campbell is so good, because he can do comedy really well, physical comedy.
Yeah, I think
fantastic.
he found his sort of niche there. He found what he's great at, so he really went for it.
It's pure it's because this one is all comedy, just not understanding what's going on. I think that's what's really important.
But
it kind of just is there, and
it knows that it's not top tier realism, so it goes, oh fuck it, we'll have a laugh then,
and there are a lot of different effects, from the hand to the torso with the chainsaw, to the prosthetics, the zombie prosthetics, obviously the big, I'm trying to think what her name is, Brenda is or something, the big massive
I think so
thing. There's the ornaments on the wall.
I was going to say the mounted head on the wall is great. I love that.
It's just all out madness. I mean, it's just pure everything's going on. It's just everything's happening, and you've got Ash with his fighting his hand, cuts off his hand, whatever. He's got the chainsaw, straps it to. He's got the shotgun. He's got the look. That's like when it's like it knows what it is.
Yeah.
And really comes into it. So. Yeah, I love Evil Dead 2. It's just so good. Just non-stop. Did you have any more notes on that one, or?
I'm trying to think. I did like the effects, like obviously you said there was stop motion, there's puppetry, there were miniatures used for the exterior sometimes, which I really
for
like.
The trees, right? For the trees and the big thing at the end. The big, what do they call it? Apple core. They called it Apple. Like the code name for it was Apple core. The big massive head that comes through the door.
Oh Christ! Yeah, again, I did forget about that, but yeah, that is mad. Like, why was it called Apple Core?
I think it's called Apple Core or Apple. They called it something like that because it looked like.
Right.
That's what it looked like. And there's a massive portal.
Oh yeah, the portal. Yeah, because you get sort of like dragged through it, and then there's the twist.
He lands in the set of the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
Not Holy Grail, the other one. Life of Brian.
Yeah, I suppose it's a weird mix of the two, because it is medieval, but it does look like Life of Brian.
Yeah, it's like knights and stuff.
Yeah.
But then he goes like full Harryhausen.
Oh yeah, with the sort of harpy thing at the end. I really like that. And again, it's like you get that sort of, and again, because it was the very end, it's like, did they need to go so hard with the design of this thing? Not really, but they did. And then I think the genius thing is they end on that character that you've been following throughout, and even though he's just been sucked through a portal, it's just like, oh no, this fucking shit. Like, really, like, I do not want this.
Well, he does go, no,
Yeah,
no,
that's what I mean.
That's his last bit where he's like, oh no. And I like the way they match it with the book, you know, the image they saw in the book of the warrior that, you know, and he becomes
Come from the skies,
that guy.
But yeah, that's the thing. It's the fact that, oh, he is this hero come to save us from the skies, and he's a reluctant hero, and he's like, oh fucking no, like this is. Yeah. I somehow knew this was coming, and I did not want it.
Strangely, I wouldn't like feel any. If they remove that whole bit, I wouldn't miss it.
No.
Even though it's great, I wouldn't like dock it points for not having it.
No.
I'd be like, I'm surprised they did it.
Yeah, well, yeah, because it was a big shift up. But
Just tired.
I need to see the third one to see if it is justified. If in my head, if it needed that trilogy treatment. As I said, I have seen Evil Dead Rise.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that quite a lot. I mean, I might as well chat a little bit about it.
Yeah, go on. Because Evil Dead, which you saw before Evil Dead 1 and 2.
Yeah. And there was a lot more Necronomicon lore involved.
Yeah.
Are the priests mentioned in the original?
I think so, yeah.
The tape recorder, right?
On the... Because I tell you, in Evil Dead Rise, you listen to the recording, Bruce Campbell's voice.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
pretty
cool.
You hear his voice at some point.
Oh, that is cool. I do like that.
That's a reference.
Yeah, the horror is obviously a lot more high budget.
Much more graphic.
Reboot, a lot more graphic. The opening of it is pretty terrifying.
Oh yeah, cabin by the.
Because again, it feels like that should be in Evil, and then they're like, nope, we're not there. We're fucking off to the city now.
Yep.
And it seemingly has nothing to do with this cabin sequence you've just seen until the very end.
Until you realise, yeah.
Which is nice that they sort of loop it
I mean, I was so sceptical of them doing it in a high-rise building. I thought, what are you doing? It worked.
Yeah.
It totally works. Like, the demon. I like the Demonites. I think they're the highlight.
Yeah.
Like, especially the mother. Like, she's just incredible. Like, just the performance and how. Because I love the Demonites in Evil Dead because they almost like understand that they're having a laugh.
Yeah.
Which makes them kind of worse, but also it makes them quite entertaining because they are kind of like, yeah, we're gonna mess with you just because we can. And yeah, I love the way it killed. I mean, spoilers, but spoilers for all of them. It like kills the kids. You don't care. Like kids die. Obviously there's the main sister. She survives, and the little girl. But the cheese grater got shot. The cheese grater.
Ugh.
Oh man, I love a cheese grater. Well, it's used like that anyway.
Yeah, that scares the shit out of me.
But yeah, I think it was really good. I really like.
There's a wood chipper right at the very end.
There's there's this monstrosity, this Rat King basically thing.
Oh yeah.
That I can Charlton, there's a lot of blood.
Yeah, and again, the bits that terrify me the most are like when the mum turns back and is like just telling the kid to come to the door and unlock the door, and it's like, Mummy's here, it's fine. That's a good bit. And I'm just like, oh, because you're a cunt, like, because again, it reminds me of previous things that I've seen were Tales from the Crypt, the bit where the Joan Collins story with the Santa Claus that's escaped from the local mental place, and he's getting the little girl to like, because you don't see where the little girl is, and she's like, oh Mummy, Santa's here, and he's just like in the house already because she just let him in because she's a fucking idiot. And there was, again, I couldn't name what this was, but this thing terrified me as a kid. There was I think it was a drama on TV, but it had sort of like a paranormal element to it, and there was this kid locked in a bathroom, like locked himself in the bathroom, and there were adults on the other side who were like his parents or whatever trying to get into him but he couldn't come in because he was like possessed by something and it was like hurting him. And it's that kind of like locking yourself away and the thing getting in, and it's like, don't let the thing in. But usually it's kids who are fucking idiots.
Yeah.
And they let the thing in.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's the tension of, do not let it in. I know you're a child, I know you're an idiot, but have a moment of clarity before you open that fucking door.
Yeah, I think a child you can get away with a bit more, because if it's an adult, you're like, don't be a dumb fuck.
Yeah,
like, don't be dumb, and then you roll your eyes, you're like,
it's the cliche of why is the dumb blonde running into the basement rather than running out to the phone box, you know?
Yeah.
Or into a locked room. It's very much like, don't go in there. Oh, you fucking got in there. With a kid, like you say, it's much more believable.
Or like if a babysitter ran upstairs instead of running outside.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Is that Halloween, is it?
No, it's our film. Remember that part where that kid eats the glass? That's great. I love that shit.
Yeah. Again, any horror that could like just happen in reality.
Yeah, domestic horror.
Domestic horror just that gets.
Because I think it's a weird one, because I usually find that if a horror is set in like a house or something I can relate to it, I find it much scarier.
Yeah.
Like the Conjuring, like Conjuring 1, it's terrifying, but because it's in a house that I'm like, I have no connection to this at all. Like, it's
sure
massive fucking American house. Like, I've never lived in one, never gonna. This family unit is too big. I don't. And then Conjuring 2 is in a little British council house. I'm like, nope, not having this. Yeah. I'm terrified because it feels. I'd be very interested to show you Army of Darkness. Yeah. And also the Evil Dead reboot. It's not remake. Well, it kind of is, but the 2013 one, which is by far the most graphic of all of them. Maybe watch that in time for the new one that comes out next month. I think it is Evil Dead.
This month.
Evil Dead Burn.
Okay.
And then next year's Evil Dead Wrath. So.
Right.
Just keep them coming, which is great, and they're all, as far as I'm aware, they're all like their own thing, which I think is a wise thing to do. Don't get like trapped under, like fucking Scream 7 or whatever. So
yeah.
Same thing. Just. And of course the series as well, which is just a continuation of Evil Dead 2.
Oh right, okay.
So
does it ignore Army of Darkness?
No. I guess it's a continuation of that. It's more. Yeah, I guess it is a continuation from that trilogy, but it feels more in line with Evil Dead 2.
Okay.
Tonally.
Totally right.
Really good show actually. I'm amazed that there was 3 series.
Yeah.
That's Evil Dead. I'm glad you like them.
Yeah, no, very much.
You got a few more to watch, and they seem to keep coming out. I don't think we'll get a comedy one again, but we'll see. Who knows? Could do. Yeah, could do. Because Evil Dead the remake is definitely there's no comedy in that.
Oh.
Whereas Rise, I guess, there's a bit of fun.
It's ever so slightly sort of dark comedy. But yeah.
Anyway, thank you all for tuning in to Watch List. As a reminder, yes, we have a new episode coming every single Saturday. And we'll talk about anything. We do have certain things we'd like to talk about more so. Obviously horror being one of them, because we love horror, but we will be talking about other things as well. Yeah,
we should sort of stretch our wings a bit and look at different genres.
You can host a rom-com episode if you like.
I would love to do a Richard Curtis episode, but I need to make you watch some Richard Curtis films. And I don't know if you'll be as agreeable with them as I was with, say, Evil Dead.
If it's for the pod,
find out.
It's for the pod. I'm willing to give it a go.
Amazing.
I'm doing it for you.
I'm going to make you watch some absolute stinkers then. Not Richard Curtis. They're all excellent. But I'll find some other crap that you're not going to like. We should do an Amicus episode for sure. It's
a shame I didn't, like, if I didn't know Richard Curtis films, it'd be funny if you showed me 2 and you went, which is your favourite? But not knowing which was Richard Curtis, but I did.
Oh, right, okay.
So that's not going to work.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, there is a Richard Curtis film that you already, I think, like.
Warhorse? That's written by Richard Curtis.
Is it?
Yeah, I like Warhorse.
Shit, that's not what I was going for. Mr. Bean's Holiday.
Is that written by Richard Curtis?
Yeah.
What?
Uh-huh.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, and he had a hand in Blackadder and things.
Oh yeah, I guess it makes sense because of Rowan Atkinson, right? But
because Rowan Atkinson appears in a lot of Rich Curtis films.
But he didn't. Richard Curtis didn't write Mr. Bean though, did he? That was Ben Elton, wasn't it?
Yeah, but again, they sort of work together a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, if you're still here, you just learnt a bit of something.
There you go. So he's still sticking around for their little tidbits of knowledge.
Extra post credits.
Yeah.
Scene that's unrelated to what happened.
And there are no credits.
What would you do if take Mr. Bean?
Yeah.
Put him in Evil Dead. I mean, that's Terrifier, actually, to be fair.
Is it? I haven't seen Terrifier.
Yeah, because Art the Clown's basically like Mr. Bean if he had a mental breakdown.
Well, maybe I will watch Terrifier then. Okay.
Bye. Bye-bye, Teddy.